What's up, guys? My name is the Zodo, and why the fuck do I sound weird every time I watch my own videos? Like, seriously, every time I talk to my friends or even myself, because I'm a freaking weirdo, like right now, I always think I sound perfect, like I'm speaking perfect English, pronouncing every word perfectly without any accent or anything. But then, whenever I watch my own videos, I sound like I'm monotone. I'm dragging my words, and I just sound weird. I mean, obviously there's a scientific reason for that. Some weird thing in your head, like some weird echo, makes your voice sound different to yourself than it does to other people. I mean, I know that, but why? Why does that even exist? Anyway, welcome to a new episode of Storytime, and before I start anything, I realized in my last episode it was really long, longer than I actually expected it to be, longer than I wanted it to be, but there was just so much things to talk about. I just had to point everything out. But hopefully this topic today will be shorter, because the topic that I'm going to be talking about is different, and there's not so many facts to go over. So in this episode, I'm gonna talk about my haunt life, and what I mean by that is my life as a scare actor. And what a scare actor is, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically someone who works at a haunted attraction and scares the shit out of people. And that's what I did for about 5 years. And, well, it's still going, but I think I'm going to take a break this year, mainly because of school. I'm too overbooked with classes this semester. It's a little scary to think about. But yeah, my haunt life. So my haunt life goes back to when I was about, 15, 16, whatever age you're supposed to be when you're in 9th grade, going on to 10th grade. In 9th grade, I met my friend Michael, who's been featured in quite a few of my videos, because those are the only friends that I really hang out with. I became friends with him at the end of 9th grade, starting 10th grade, and he told me that he worked at a haunted house, not getting paid, just volunteer work. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to be at a certain age. And he told me that he's been working since he was 5. He said his dad got him into it, and him and his dad had this little skit where his dad was a doctor and he was like his weird little minion son thing. I don't know. But he said that he's been working since he was 5, and I think it's a little over 13, 14 years now that he's been working haunted houses. And when he told me that, I was like, that's kind of cool. I thought it was interesting, of course, but I never really got the interest to work at a haunted house. So this one time, I was coming back home from a mall that's near my house, and I come across this park. It's a historical center in near where I live, and I saw that they were getting ready for their haunted attraction every year. They had a banner out on the fence, and it said Heritage Haunt. And when I saw the word haunt, I was like, that's awesome. Kind of want to try it. So when I got home, I went to their website, and I saw that they had like this little volunteers wanted kind of application thing. So I emailed one of the co-owners, and he says, just come on down on a weekend whenever you can, and we'll walk you through it, we'll give you a tour, and if you like it, you can stay and help us build it. And so I went, they gave me a tour, obviously I liked it, and I stayed. I stayed and helped for that year, and then I went back the year after, and then the year after, and it's, like I said, it's gone a little bit over 5 years now that I've been at this one location. It was great. At the beginning, people were awesome. The first 2 years, the people I met the first 2 years were amazing. They were really cool people. I made some really good friends those first 2 years. I mean, I made really good friends the other years too, but as the years went on, obviously people started leaving, mainly for school reasons or other work opportunities, or they just didn't want to continue on in the haunt world. So new people started coming, and they were mostly high schoolers. Some were in college or going to college. Others were construction workers who they helped us build the haunt. And just some of these people's personalities, they were terrible. It was this. They were bad. I'm not gonna say they're bad people. They're just stupid. Some of them are actually kind of annoying. But that's besides the point. So I started working, and then every year I came back. There was this one year where we didn't do it at that location. We did it at a high school. We wanted to take a break from that place for a little bit, and so that year that we took a break, we went to a high school that was near that location, and it was cool. It was a really good place. The area that the school gave us was really great. It was an awesome place to work with, but we didn't have the revenue that we were expecting. Mostly high schoolers from that high school. I guess mainly because we were only there for 2 weekends, because that's the only time they gave us. And one of the weekends, that same high school was having a prom in the gym that they had. And so while we were having our own thing, they were having their own thing over there on the other side of campus. We were over here, and so people who went to the prom had to go a different way and completely pass us. So we didn't that, and we also didn't really advertise that well. And also we didn't have the same name as, Heritage Haunt. This time it was a different name. But yeah, it was a great place. It was an awesome place to slide. If you guys don't know what sliding is, it's basically you're sliding on your knees and hands, sometimes your hands. It doesn't hurt because you have to wear knee pads, and you wear these special gloves that have metal tips on them that sometimes, if you're lucky, they'll spark, unless you actually use special metal or flint. Yeah, it was a really great place to slide, and I didn't get in trouble, but the rest of the group got in trouble for something that I did, which I actually didn't do, and this is what I didn't do. I'm gonna explain it right now. Sub-story. There was this one night where there was this man. He was not old, but he was late 40s, early 50s, and he's just walking, and I see that he's vulnerable. That's what haunters say. That person's vulnerable. There's nothing around them to protect them from a good scare. So I took advantage of that, and so I ran up behind him, and I slid right behind him. And as I was sliding, he was walking up these little these stairs that lead up to the ticket booth. He turns around, he sees me, and as he's turning around, he's walking backwards. But I guess he forgot that he needed to go another step, so he walks backwards and trips over the second step and falls right on his back. And obviously I felt bad. That was not my intention at all. I just wanted to scare him, and so I got up, I broke character, and I asked him, if he was okay. He was like, yeah, sure, don't worry about it, it was my fault. That's what he said. And I was like, okay, fine. So I didn't think anything of it. I just went on my merry way and kept scaring the people that were coming in. And that night, I forgot why, but I had to leave early. It's probably because of school reasons the next day. But that night, I left early, and I get a text from one of my friends that worked there, and he says that the principal of the school came and yelled at them. Everybody. It was after the event ended, and the principal came and yelled at them and said that because of their sliding, because of the sliding, someone hit an old man and made him fall. And so I got blamed for it. I'll accept the blame because yes, it was my fault that he fell. But I never touched him. I never hit him. I made sure I kept my space. In the haunt world, if you're scaring people, you're not supposed to hit people or touch them in general. You're not supposed to touch them unless they let you or they want to take a picture with you. That's the only time you guys can touch them because, of course, nowadays people are really anal about the smallest things, that a slightest touch of someone's skin or just any part, like if you walk by somebody and you somehow just touch their arm just very faintly and they happen to feel it, they will sue you. If they wanted to, they will sue you for sexual harassment or assault. And people are stupid like that. But yeah, you're not supposed to touch people, and I made sure I never touched him. I got close to him, but I kept my distance. I kept at least a 12-inch distance from the guy. The fact that he fell was his fault. He tripped, and he even admitted. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. It was my fault. So I didn't get yelled at, but a bunch of people were mad at me for having them get yelled at. When, like I said, I'll take the blame, but I'm not going to accept the fact that I was blamed for hitting the guy, because I was there, and that's not what happened. And to this day, people are still giving me shit for that. And I'm still gonna say, no, I didn't touch him. I was there. You weren't. I know what happened. End of story. Anyway, so that year we went to school. We didn't have the revenue that we wanted. And then the following year we came back to the old location, to the historical center, and it exploded. Not literally, but people came back because they wanted more, and that year we had more people than ever before. And we were there for another 3 years. Last year was our last year, definitely our last year, because the historical center, the board from the historical center, they thought that we were messing things up, and that the place is a piece of history and it's not a playground. We never really treated it as a playground. On the contrary, we were actually trying to get money so that we can restore the house, because there were houses. These were houses that were brought from other locations into this little park area thing. So we were trying to get money to restore, rebuild these houses. And so they kicked us out, and now we have no place to go. Or I don't think we're gonna come back. For me, it sucks, but like I said, this year I'm kind of overbooked with school. I got too many classes to take, and I don't think I'm going to be able to work anywhere. A couple of my friends are going to Fright Fest at Six Flags. They're working there. They keep asking me every year if I'm going to work Six Flags, and I said no. For many reasons. I don't really want to get into that right now. One of the main reasons is because I have school, and of course my friend Michael's working there. He says, he's like, yeah, I have school too. And I'm just like, well, yeah, but you're not taking 20 classes in one semester. And, you know, he has his reasons. I have my own reasons why I don't want to work there. So yeah, this year I don't think I'm gonna work. I'm probably just gonna check out some haunts here and there. I'm gonna go to Six Flags, or I'm gonna go to Universal. I don't know about Six Flags yet. Maybe I might go. I might have to go anyway because my friends work there. So just for support, to help them with their paycheck, because that's how they're getting paid. I'm basically paying them, and I'll probably check a few home haunts. Go back to a few home haunts, and my friends want to see if we can go to the Queen Mary Dark Harbor, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do this year. Fun fact: I used to be deathly afraid of haunted houses. Back when I was a kid, I went to Universal Studios with my family. And we went into this haunted house called House of Horrors. Yeah, House of Horrors at Universal Studios. And some of you guys from LA, you guys obviously might recognize that because it's not really classic, but now it's a classic now that it's gone. It was a year-round haunted house, and it was really great. But I went into that expecting that it was going to be cool. I came out crying because some guy with a fake chainsaw scared the shit out of me. And I remember that was the last time I was ever going to go to haunted houses ever again. And a year before I started working at a haunted house. There was this haunted house in Northridge, California, near where I live, and we were just driving around, and we come across this warehouse that was completely, the facade was an entire, like they built a facade in front of the warehouse to make it look like a house, and it was a haunted attraction. It was called Spooky House, and Spooky House has history in this valley, in the San Fernando Valley. They've been all over the valley, and they were one of the best, if not the best, place to go, to check out a haunted house. And that year, I think it was a year after, when I went, it was their last year. But anyway, I went to we passed by it, and my parents asked me if I wanted to go in, and I was like, no, I don't want to go in that. So we didn't go in, and then when I met my friend Michael, he told me that he worked at Spooky House, and if I would have known him before that, I probably would have gone in. But yeah, I used to be deathly afraid of haunted houses. I didn't want to go into them. And then when I started working at a haunted house, I was still sort of, iffy about going into them. I was actually invited to go to Not Scary Farm with the entire haunt crew that I worked with. It was a tradition between all of them since they started to go to Not Scary Farm every year. And they asked me if I wanted to go the first year that I started working. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I didn't go. And then the following year, they asked me again, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. So I went, and of course I got scared, obviously, because it was my first time in a long time that I've been into a haunted house. And ever since then, it was cool, and I wanted to keep going to more. I went to Universal. I've been going to Universal every year with my friends for the past 3 or 4 years now, and it's great. I'm not afraid of going into haunted houses anymore. Of course, I still get scared, but now it's fun to get scared because, it's great. You get to see how they do it, and, it's just fun to get scared. I can't explain why it's fun. Just the fact that you know that you're gonna get scared is just, what makes it fun. I always have this mentality that if you go into a haunted house expecting to get scared, you're gonna get scared. But if you're going in there to check it out and check out the scenery and the acting and stuff like that, you're not gonna get scared. And so that's kind of the mentality that that I put into myself. But yeah, my fear for haunted houses has faded away dramatically, actually. Ever since I started working at this haunt, I already know how they do it. I know the different scare spots that exist. Some nowadays are getting a little bit more intricate. They're getting a little bit more creative with the scare tactics. I don't know, that's what I love about haunts. You get to put your creativity into a live action thing, and that's what I love about home haunts. Home haunts are amazing. Home haunts are my favorite places to check out because they're low budget. They're just people who have homes and they want to turn their home into a haunted house, literally a haunted house. Some of these people, obviously, they have their own jobs, and some of them who have amazing scenery and that put their amazing creativity, you can tell that either these people have money and they have good jobs and they have money and they have a job in the film industry, which is where most of the haunted inspiration comes from watching horror movies. You can see where they get their creativity from, or they have saved up money from their previous years to pay for their upcoming years, and that's how most of these people have done it. Most of them have been doing haunts for years now, and they've already accumulated enough money to make it bigger and better every year. And that's what I love about home haunts, because they're low budget. You get to see how creative these people are, and it's great. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. That is my haunt life. That's what I like to call it. I love scaring people. The reason I haven't really had much footage of when I worked at a haunted house because I was scaring. I didn't have enough time to get a camera and record everything, so I didn't really have much footage on my YouTube about that. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I don't really have much to say. This topic was actually really short because it's only 5 years. In the case of my YouTube, which has been my life since I was 12, and hopefully this video is a lot shorter. I can already tell. I've already gone 20-25 minutes talking, but hopefully I can compress it into smaller parts. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please give it a like. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on Twitter. I've found a way how to link my Facebook to my Twitter, so you guys will get the faster latest news of when I upload whenever I upload a video. So yeah, like the video, subscribe for more content, follow me on Twitter, and if any of you guys have a haunt life like mine, or you worked at a haunted house, please let me know in the comments. I really want to know. you know, ever since I started working at haunted houses, I've realized that the haunt community is a lot bigger than I thought. You know, at first I thought it was a smaller community, you know, like a subculture, and it is a subculture. But every year, like when I went to Scare LA, every year for Scare LA, there's more and more people, and it's not just people from the industry. It's like teenagers and people who just love haunted attractions. They come and check it out, and it's awesome. Some of these people actually work at haunted houses, and some of them they just like to go to the haunts, and they want to see what they can expect for this year's haunts, especially from Six Flags and Nuts and Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, who had booths and panels at this year's Scare LA. If you guys want to check that out, link in the description below to a couple of my videos. I made a vlog about when I went to Scare LA. And yeah, let me know. I actually really want to know if you guys have a haunt life like mine. And tell me stories of like whenever you got in trouble, or you know, you got other people in trouble because of what you did. Even though what they think that you did, you didn't actually do. Let me know. I kind of want to know. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Like I said, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter for latest news and when I upload videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.